Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Olivia and this is my channel where I love to talk about all things nail polish, especially the Polish and Beauty Expo, which I'm filming this video today on about a week after it. So I'm filming this on the Friday that was after the PBE weekend. And y'all who watch my things to know about PBE video will probably remember I said in there that I am someone who is an introvert and requires some recharging time. I definitely gave myself lots of recharging time after PBE. I've got to say, I had a blast, loved it, loved meeting all of you who were there. But then afterwards, I just so actually one thing I did in advance that I don't think I mentioned on here was that I decided to take the Monday, the next day off from work. I'm so glad I did that. So I took the day off from work, I got a massage, loved it. And so now I am back to, my energy has been renewed. And so I, with this video today, as I was thinking, what do I want to talk about? As always, I'm going to have timestamps in the description and in a pinned comment for whatever direction this ends up going in. I will say though that I don't have a lot of plan structure necessarily, just because I don't really know where I'm going to go with this. But one thing I do want to start and say is I'm setting the agenda, loose agenda and everything. I know that a lot of other PBE, post PBE related videos are covering polish hauls where people go through, they either will show all the polishes that they bought. In some cases they're showing and swatching. I'm not doing that. And it's just because for me personally, I've never been drawn to watching other people's hauls or looking at haul photos and things. It doesn't really do anything for me personally. And so I think that's why I'm not really drawn to having that be part of this particular video that I'm filming now. Yeah, for me, I think a lot of how where a lot of my joy comes from with nail polish and sharing my love of polish is in showing you how I layer them, showing you how I combine things together and create a resulting look that I'm just wow, I didn't realize you could do that from bringing these together and stuff. And so the thought of me going through and showing you I bought this, I bought this, I bought that, that wouldn't make me happy. And when I started this nail polish channel, I told myself, if it doesn't make me happy, I'm not going to do it. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Just I never like to do any kind of bait and switch. So if any of you came to this video expecting to see a polish haul, I completely understand, but if you want to click out, but if you want to continue on and hear about how the rest of my PBE experience, I would love to have you continue watching. So with that being said, because I'm talking with my hands a lot already, let me show you a close-up as to what's on my nails today. So here is a closer look at what's on my nails today. Y'all know that I'm normally not an orange polish person, but there's just something about orange and this main polish that I was feeling. So also as I'm speaking, I'm gonna put a little video clip on the side here so that you can see how this layering combination looks out in the sunlight, because I just had to capture that. Okay, so the main star of the show here is this polish that I picked up from Lurid Lacquer at PBE called Monarch Butterfly. As someone who lives in Illinois, I was especially happy to see that this is part of their Illinois Flora and Fauna collection. Now, before PBE, I saw this in a few swatch videos and photos and thought, okay, it seems like it might be good, but let me wait until PBE to see if I really will like it in person. And I saw it in person and just oh yeah, I definitely need this. However, when I put it on my nail though, there's a couple things about this that you are probably already starting to see, that the way this looks in the bottle is not exactly what's on my nail. So the first thing is opacity. I want to say that this, because it has like a jelly base in it, if I can show you real quick just how it looks on like the brush gem, you can kind of see how this looks like that. It would take probably about at least 3 coats to build up to not even full opacity. So to start off with, I put down a coat of this orange cream polish from Essie called Tangerine Tease. Now, this polish is one you can see here that I've used up about half of the bottle. I've gotten a lot of good use out of this, primarily through nail art, times like this where I need to use it for layering purposes, but I don't think that I'm going to buy this one again once this runs out. The formula of this is quite streaky, and there's better creams out there that I could get. But also, spoiler alert, I'm pretty sure that my next polish making quest is going to involve me creating my perfect orange cream polish. But the problem is that I don't really know what shade I want that to be. So like, it's really going to be a journey. But yeah, for now, I'm using this up through like either nail art or for like layering. This works incredibly well for being able to say, I need something that's matching this enough to get me the full opacity that I want. So boom, put this bottle to work. So that's the first thing. After I put down a coat of the Essie polish, I then only had to use 1 coat of this to get, the coverage that I wanted to have Monarch Butterfly be part of my manicure. Again, this is something I talk about a lot on here, but I just want to stress it again, like especially for these limited edition polishes that you won't be able to purchase again from the maker once they sell out. I am absolutely a fan of figuring out ways that I can stretch them as much as I can. So instead of me having to use 3 coats on each nail, I only used 1. And I actually did test this out with like 2 coats to see if there would be any difference. In my test that I did when putting that on top of a cream, there was really no difference. And actually, because of the other stuff that I then put on top of it, that was even more of a reason for me to not want to overly build up Monarch Butterfly with multiple coats of this. So then after that, I was like, something's missing. I need sparkle. So this polish here is, okay, so I'm using a cracked bottle, but this is, so it started as Make It Pretty. I got Make It Pretty down to like the very bottom of the bottle and realized there was like a layer, like a coating of it in there that just refused to like fully pour out. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna pour in a bunch more of gold hollow scattered glitter, mix it up, and have like a super just glittery gold topper. So that's what this is. To show this side by side with actual Make It Pretty, this is, why am I showing you the label like that's gonna make a difference? So this is actual Make It Pretty on the left, and this is my like concoction on the right. You can see that my version is a different shade of gold, and also this is a lot more densely packed. Okay, so I put glitter down, right? Then I was like, what if again, something else is missing. So that is where, I don't know why I'm trying to show you the front with the crack label, like you can really read that over black, but here we are. This is cracked mascara flakes because I wanted it to feel like, yes, I know it's kind of like giving Halloween, but is there anything wrong with that? No. I think that just a little bit of black speckles in here just really brought this all together, but I wasn't done yet. So I had all of that down. and I still was feeling, you know, the shade of orange that Monarch Butterfly is doesn't really work well against my skin tone, in my opinion. There's not enough color contrast there for my personal preference. So what I decided to do was to finally layer everything with this jelly from Blank Beauty. This is if you all saw my review video from them that I did a bit ago. It wasn't sponsored or anything like that, but I'll put links to those two videos in the description in case you missed it. Basically, I bought this and it was called Cranberry Jam, and I was like, this looks like hot sauce. And then they saw the video. And again, I just bought the polish myself. I guess they stumbled across my video, and then they followed up with me and sent me another bottle of this that they relabeled as hot sauce because they agreed with me. And so yeah, this is like a really great reddish orange jelly that I was able to put on top of Monarch Butterfly to deepen that orange a bit and give me the overall color that I wanted. And so, you know, hopefully like watching this little clip right here explains a bit more about why it is that the way that I like to share polishes here on this channel and share them with you all and talk about them. For me, I get that joy not out of saying, well, you know, here's Monarch Butterfly, here's, you know, another completely separate polish and so on. I get so much joy out of walking you all through my creative process and helping you to understand the creative choices that I made with this and why. And so, you know, at some point I will make my way through the various polishes that I have I've acquired at PBE, but and, you know, as much as I can, I'll try to remember if it was a PBE polish or not. But yeah, this is just one example of how I took something that I got from PBE, combined it together with, how many did I use? With 4 other polishes here, and I'm very, very happy with how this turned out. All right, so now that you see the vibe for today, which is orange, you know, there are some times when the way that I will plan my outfit and overall look is like complementary color. So in the case of color theory, orange would be paired with blue. So often I would do like that, but today was the day I was just like, I'm just putting on all orange. Even my backlighting is orange. You can't really tell as much because there's still light coming in from outside, but anyway, orange is the color of today. So yeah, PBE. I'll start with the my thoughts on the meet and greet part of it, because that was new to me for this year. I'd never done that before. So that was on the Saturday night. It went by so fast. I think it was from like 6 to 8 or 7 to 9 or something like that. It was kind of like you blink and it's just like, whoa. The food was really good. It was like Italian food. I think I've heard they alternate, like 1 year's Mexican, 1 year's Italian, and so on. It's like you have this like a buffet. You get your food, you get some drinks, and then there's like the reception area, which is the same area where the like during the expo day on Sunday, they have those tables set aside for like the various activities like magnetic nail polish, stamping, and so on. Or they even leave some open just if people want to sit and take a break from being in the shopping area. And in that space, each maker had a table where they were able to set up their own little like decorations and a little display that would fit on like a round banquet table. And they would, depending on the maker, some of the makers were there themselves, some weren't. Before that initial time where people were in and milling around and eating dinner, I was a little confused at first because I'm like, okay, where do I go sit? Like, so which table do I associate myself with? I don't know. And, but it wasn't really like, choose your team or anything like that. It was more of just pick a table, sit, talk, eat, do your thing. And then once it got to the point where maybe, I don't know, like half an hour, 45 minutes later, when most people were starting to wrap up, and then the reception staff for the venue were coming around and taking up plates, that was when most people started to get up and move around and go from table to table to see the polishes and things that were there. So what was one of the things that was really great, well, first, before I get to that, it was so nice to run into two of you who were viewers and commenters on my channel there at the table, and to talk with you there, and to kick that off and have that be part of the experience there. I'll talk more about like one section I'll definitely include in here is like, what was it like for me as a new content creator being in the wild? I don't know why I'm saying like I'm in the wild, but y'all know what I mean. Maybe because I'm dressed like a tiger today. My mind is all over the place today, y'all. Also, I forgot to mention that my nails are basically like cheese puffs going to the club. I don't know how I forgot to say that, but anyway. So you get up from the tables, you go around, and at each table they would have things like, a display of the various polishes that the makers are going to have for sale on the expo day. They also had swatch sticks or swatch wheels, so that was a lot easier for you to be able to see how those polishes were, like, not just in the bottle, but also how they applied. And then in many cases, some makers had like stickers. They had their own custom shopping list cards that you could take, so that way it would be a little bit easier for you to plan your visit to their booth for the next day. It was a really nice experience here. Y'all, it was warm though. I learned my lesson for the next day. I brought a portable electric fan. That was so good. Those of y'all who ran into me there, like I did fortunately have like something I could wipe the sweat away with because basically whenever it's the case that if I'm really sweating, and especially if it's the case like now that my hair color has just been touched up, sweat plus red hair dye, it looks like I'm bleeding. And so I always try to not have that happen. So thankfully, I think I was in the clear, but yeah, on day 2, that electric fan totally saved me. Yeah, so the meet and greet was really nice as a way to start to get a sense of what's out there in person, a chance to really see like, okay, especially if you're newer to PBE, to start your weekend with a slightly smaller crowd. I think I saw something that said there were like somewhere between 250, 300 people. I can't recall exactly, but yeah, at this point, I'll shift over a little bit to talk about what it was like to meet fans in person for the first time. And also it was so fun to give out like my Go Into the Club Oli Nails stickers, which I'm still in the process of getting set up to make available to anyone who missed out on one. Like I said in my previous video, I just want to make sure I have the time to set that up and do it right, and I'll let you all know once that is up and ready to go. But yeah, I am very tall. I have bright red hair. I tend to dress very colorfully, so it's very easy to spot me in a crowd. And so it just was very very special thing for me anytime someone came up to me and they were like, oh my God, I just want to say hi because I love your videos, and I learned this from you. And what I'm saying here also, by the way, relates to the experiences I had on the second day too. People telling me what like their favorite videos of mine were, and it was just a very surreal experience, but in a good way, you know. In some cases, this happened twice actually. There were on separate occasions. There were people who came up to me, and they were staying at the hotel that is like attached to the convention center venue. And they were saying, "Oh my goodness, I was literally just upstairs painting my nails, and I needed to watch something on YouTube. So I looked to see what was on there, and I saw you had a new video. So I was watching your video as I was painting my nails. And now, like half an hour later, I'm down here and you're here in person." And I'm like, hey. I can imagine that must be a very surreal experience to be like, whoa, you know. The way that I decided to like go about having those conversations was, you know, I like to think I'm a very friendly person, and to just make sure that warmth came across, because I know there's some people who were like, oh my God, I didn't want to interrupt. Like if I was shopping or talking with my husband, Jack, they also, you know, but I wanted to make it clear, like, hey, if you recognize me and you want to say hi, and as long as I don't like having my headphones, if I'm not reading my Kindle, we're good. Let's chat. And those were some really special conversations to have for me. I also, there's quite a few of you who mentioned to me in particular that watching my video about what to expect from PBE helped you so much to feel more comfortable and confident with being there as someone with social anxiety, as someone who's an introvert, as someone with sensory needs who may become overstimulated. All the various tips that I put in my video, so many of you were appreciative of that, and that means a lot to me to hear that that video was so, not just so well received, but that you actually were able to take tangible things away from that to help make your PBE experience a lot better. I can't thank you all enough for just the sheer amount of love that you showed to me at PBE, both from those of you who were there in person, and those of you who were not there, but, you know, commented on previous videos, sending well wishes to PBE. It was really cool. And there were, my little Oli Nails sticker in some ways even ended up being like a little business card of sorts. Like as I was chatting with people, and they were like, oh, how do I stay in touch with you? I'm like, here's my YouTube channel. By the way, something I don't think I've spoken about on here before, but as I was first setting up my channel, like almost a year ago, in last September, I initially did set up like a corresponding Instagram account because, you know, most people do multiple forms of social media. However, I think the most that I've done on that is put a profile picture that is my hand, and that is literally it. I just, aside from like a couple of groups of friends that I have on a different Instagram account that I used many years ago but don't really update anymore, I use that as like a group chat kind of thing. But for like Oli Nails purposes, I'm just on YouTube. For me, it's because I, with my attention focus and stuff, and my brain always just kind of jumping from one thing to this and that, I knew as I set up this channel, I wanted to do it in a way where I could really make, not just make, but also make and maintain meaningful connections with people. And one of the things I pride myself on is that I acknowledge every single comment. That matters a lot to me, and I know I just can't do that if I'm splitting my focus between YouTube and something else like Instagram. Also, so for me, it's just, it would be way too much to keep up with. And also, it's been so many years since I was actually using Instagram for like photo stuff. To put it in context, the last time I was using Instagram for the purpose of like actually uploading photos or videos to the other profile that I had for personal reasons, the stories feature did not even exist yet. I don't even know what year that was, but that was like it was before that time. So yeah, so there were some people that I met who were like, oh, I can't seem to find you on Instagram. So yeah, I realized just now I've never spoken to that. So anyway, with all that being said, fantastic experience meeting and connecting with you all. Now to flip things a bit, it was also really fun for me to meet other content creators that I watch, including Hillary from Mediocre Manny's. I met Mercedes from Hey Mercedes. I told her and Hillary how much I'm a fan of their channels. I met Lisa from Cosmetic Sanctuary, and I told her how much I enjoy her content, and then she was like, oh wait, I've seen your videos. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. Here's a sticker. But y'all, I've got to say, by far, I think, as I was looking back on my whole PBE experience, probably the moment that stood out to me is like the highlight. I'm standing in the Tyler's Trinkets line and getting ready to shop with him. And then I hear someone come over to me and they're like, Olivia? And I'm mentally like, oh yeah, someone said my name. That's me, that is registering. But then y'all, I look up and it's Yaneli, also from YouTube. If you don't follow her yet, you should. She is a sweetheart and has absolutely some of the most thorough nail polish, like swatching and comparisons that I have seen. So anyway, I look up and it's Yaneli, and I'm just like, wait, hold up. So a number of things are then trying to register in my mind. I'm thinking, I know of you because I watch your videos. I didn't realize you were going to be here. By the way, these are the things I'm not saying out loud. At least I don't think I was. I probably did. But then these are inside thoughts. I'm like, I watch her, but yet she's coming up to me and says she knows me, like she watches my videos. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, so once all of that kind of was like, okay, I was just so hyped and excited to see her. And I asked her, I always ask, like, are you a hugger? And we hugged and everything. And she gave me so many sweet compliments about my channel. And I'm someone who, like, just as a side note, one of the ways that my mom taught me to kind of move throughout the world is to always leave people better than you left them or you found them or something like that, where it's just ingrained in me that, like, if I'm able to give someone a genuine compliment about something, why wouldn't I, And it often catches people off guard because they don't expect that, or maybe they're not expecting that. But I showered Yaneli with so many compliments, and it was just so amazing to, by the way, I'm going to put a picture up here. We took a photo together. It was just such a fun time. So Yaneli, thank you again for everything that you said. And seriously, meeting you was the highlight of my PBE. And I'm just getting choked up right now. But to meet someone whose work you have loved and respected, because like how thorough she is, I think I relate to that a lot because of the way that my content is. Granted, we don't make the same kinds of videos. I've always said I'm not a swatcher, but yet the way that Yaneli goes about swatching is so similar to the way that I think about nail polish too. So, anyway, that made me very happy. Okay. One other very big highlight I had was very similar to meeting Yaneli. It was meeting Miss Thompson, another nail polish YouTuber here. So I have, for context here, this Oli Nails channel that I have here is the one that I use to put content onto YouTube. But then when it comes to how I watch YouTube myself, like when I'm watching on my phone, on my iPad, on my TV, or so on. I use like a personal, completely unrelated YouTube account that I've had for years, long before I ever had a channel. So I guess some YouTubers may not even know that. This is gonna sound creepy. Oh my God, y'all. I've been, there's no way for me to say this in a way that's not creepy. Hold up. I'm just gonna say it. I've been watching them for longer than they realize. You see what I'm saying? Like, hopefully you get the gist of what I'm trying to communicate and you understand why it sounds creepier than it is. But basically, Miss Thompson is one of those people who a bit ago, I was so surprised and happy when I saw her start to comment on my channel here, Oli Nails, because for the longest time I've been watching her YouTube channel through my like other account. And so we've chatted here a bit in the comments over videos, and I found out she was coming to PBE. I was so excited. I ran into her at the meet and greet and also in the expo hall, and just she is such a ray of sunshine, y'all. Just a joy. And her daughter was there with her too, and she's such a sweetheart too. I just and I thanked her for like just complimented her for her videos being something that encouraged me to create my channel, and seeing just the way that she talks about polish. That was something I'm just like, oh wow, like it really inspired me to figure out like, how do I want to talk about these things, you know? And I could just sit and listen to her talk about polish all day. So it was so wonderful to put a name to a face and to see her in person and connect in that way. So then I haven't yet even spoken about what was on my nails, what was on my husband Jack's nails. I'm gonna start with his nails because I did his first. So I mentioned in a previous video that I was going to do something special for Jack's nails, where I wanted it to be something that really spoke to him as part of who he is, and so that as he was going around the expo, he wasn't just showing his nails, but it was like, hey, this speaks to who he is. So Jack is a Disney adult through and through. Love that about him. And he was wearing this shirt that has like Wall-E like patterns on it, like Wall-E the animated movie, like Wall-E characters on it and everything. So I knew he was going to be wearing that shirt. And he told me that the idea he had in mind for his nails would be something related to Pixar movies. And when we first came up with this idea, I said, oh, I could do like some kind of nail art. And he's like, oh, no, you don't have to do that. You can just like do your usual layering and stuff. I was like, no, as I thought more about it, I just felt I want to do something that like the vision here that I have is it's going to be nail art. So I'm going to put a picture over on the side so y'all can see it. And I don't remember the exact order that these are in. Let me see. I know one was I did like a blue sky with clouds, and then like round glitter confetti on there to represent up. I did another one that was like a big green eyeball to represent Monsters Inc. Then I did one with a pattern to represent Nemo and Finding Nemo. The next one after that was like a white background and like the eyes to represent Eve or Eva from Wall-E. And then on his thumb, I drew like, I used like the yellow, red, and blue, and like drew a star and like a swoosh to represent like the Pixar ball that he said is in like every Pixar movie and stuff. And it was so much fun. I mean, like we talked about the plan for this, and I was like, okay, cool. Let me go and mock something up and let me know what you think of this. And I think he thought that it was gonna take me a couple hours to do this, but like and this is like I think the night before PBE, I went upstairs to here, sat down, pulled out the colors that I wanted to try and test out. And y'all, I think like 15 minutes later, I had like a very rough, I did it like roughly. And then it was like, hey, what do you think? It's like, dang, that was fast. So I've got to say that like doing more nail art has really helped me to become better at it. I'm actually in the process of planning another nail art video coming up, because it's been a while since I've done one of these. Side note, we're going to a baseball game next week, and I want to do some baseball nail art, so I'm probably going to film a video about that. Woo! Yeah, so then I painted his nails, and he got so many compliments on them. He even kept them on for the few days after that. So he got great compliments from his coworkers, his manager, his board gaming group, magic group, everything. So I say this a lot, but it's something I really. I don't take this for granted at all. The genuine interest that he and I each take in the other's hobbies. And I just really love and appreciate that about him. And I just couldn't stop thanking him for being so open to like, you know, do that as part of like, or even just being at PBE with me and like carrying a lot of my heavy bags. Another reason why I was so glad I got a massage the next day, because whenever I go and get a massage, the massage therapist that I'm seeing will start by asking like, hey, what do you want to have worked on? You know, I think this is the first time in a long time I was like, my arms hurt. I was like, oh, because I was carrying a lot of bags too. So anyway, so those were Jack's nails. And then I had a vision for my nails. Okay, so for me, it started also with like planning my outfit first. As you saw in the photo that I shared a little bit ago with Yaneli, I was wearing a very colorful dinosaur dress. I was basically like Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus when you think about it, you know, like wearing some kind of science related dress, and I've got red hair. I'm just saying, like, I was feeling Miss Frizzle. So I'm like, okay, I want to do some kind of dinosaur related manicure. And I was joking with Jack about this. I said, as I was talking through my ideas, I said, this is going to be kind of unhinged, but I, as just part of who I am, tend to be a little unhinged. So I'm going to go with this. And yeah, so I filmed a separate little clip to show you all what I did. So let's just jump over to that right now. So here is a look at my PBE manicure that I did. I decided to do some nail art. So I was wearing a dinosaur dress, and I had this idea, but I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to really execute it the way that I wanted through nail art. But I love how this turned out. So basically, and as I was there at PBE, I was telling people, you know, here's my manicure. It tells a story from left to right. So starting from the left and then going over, you have this like the tail end of a comet or asteroid. You can see there's a little bit of sparkle in there, and then that culminates over here where you see the big rock, and oh no. Okay, so people were I know. I was like, it's a dinosaur, and what had happened was dinosaurs are hard to draw. And at one point, so like if you look at over here, like at the very bottom right there, I think that was originally going to be the dinosaur's tail, but then it just, the more I added, the more its body proportions were just like not doing it. And so at a certain point I was just like, you know what, it's going to be Godzilla. So Yes. So yeah, this was a lot of fun to do, just seeing the story that it told. And I I know when I was meeting people, I was like, this is a little bit dark and unhinged, but that's kind of how I am, so this is true to me. And but it's so cute, right? Roar. So, by the way, I think I forgot to mention in that clip, but the dark background color that I used for that was the Blurple Cream Part 2. I'll put a link in the description in case you missed it to that. I was so excited to have that be part of the manicure. And I also, over top of it, I used some glitter from, I think, Glitter Unique. I had this like iridescent hex glitter. Like I just mixed up enough of it to just like dip from the cup and then just paint on the nails for a nice little starry background. It was so cool to walk around at PBE and, first people would see the dinosaur dress and they're like, oh my God, your dinosaur dress is so cute. And that, because y'all, I am not subtle. I'm really not. That would then lead to me saying, oh, hey, if you like dinosaurs, you should totally see my nails. And they're like, what do you mean? And I would be like, okay, so here's the story from left to right. And, people would see the comment and everything. They're like, oh, it's space. That's cool. How does this relate to dinosaurs? Oh, so yeah, that was great. It just, I would also add that into my tips video for next year, probably. If you are someone who maybe struggles with striking up conversations with other people, a fantastic opener can be to could be to do some kind of nail art, because so many people complimented me on that, not just for like the story of it, but also just how detailed it was and how like I had blended certain things together. So yeah, I recently got some new nail art brushes, and that's probably what that's part of why I want to film this baseball video for nail art. So yeah, be on the lookout for that sometime soon. What else about PBE do I want to talk about? I also had a good time volunteering for an hour at the magnetic nail polish table. And I didn't get a whole lot of people there because I think my shift was from 1 to 2. And if I remember correctly, 1 o'clock was, it turns out, when general and basic admission got into the expo. So understandably, most people were wanting to spend time shopping, either just getting in there or continuing to be in there from before. But I did have, from the people who stopped by the table, I had some really great conversations with them and sharing techniques about like how to get the most crisp magnetic line, how to use these kind of magnetic effect helpers like DRK Magic Effect and other similar ones, things like that. So for any of you who are looking to kind of get more involved with PBE for the next year, keep an eye out on the Facebook group as it gets closer to the event and see when the call for volunteers gets put out. And yeah, I was sitting here thinking, is there anything else I want to talk about? Watch, just as I'm starting to wrap up this video, that's when I'm going to be like, oh yes, this other thing too. No, but I do want to just thank once again Christy from KB Shimmer, the organizer of the Polish and Beauty Expo, for just another successful event this year, and for having consistently such a well-organized, well-run, welcoming event that took place, and to have such clear communication throughout the entire process. I always just kind of know, like for me as an attendee, to just know, okay, here's where I go for this, here's what's going on there. It was never like chaos or anything like that. Also, many thanks to all the volunteers who helped to make PBE run, both in front of the scenes and behind the scenes. I know there's a lot that goes into that often is unseen and unthanked. I realize this is turning into sounding like an acceptance speech, but seriously, I think just another couple of other groups of people I want to thank here. Not that it's my place to be thanking people, but just like thank you to the vendors who show up and make PBE something to keep coming back to. Also, I always like to thank the event staff who are there working like on behalf of the venue, because they're also doing a lot of great things to keep the event running smoothly. And that was something I really appreciated seeing. And also thanks to everyone there who attended and was part of it. You all helped to make it such a great positive experience for everyone there. And you know, every time I go to PBE, I'm always happy because it's like the one time of the year where I know that I can be fully surrounded in such a large space with other people who love color, who love nail polish, who love glitter, and everything in between as much as I do. It's a place where, you know, I feel like I can truly be myself and crank it up to like level 100 of Olivia, which I've got to say in recent years, especially as I, now that I'm in my 40s, I don't really care as much what people think of me anymore. So it's like, if I want to be bright and colorful, just like on a random Tuesday, I'm going to be doing that. But, you know, I recognize that not everyone is there in their own life journey. So I do still believe that having PBE is a place that can be so welcoming and so affirming to people who might not be able to be as outwardly colorful and outwardly proud in their day-to-day lives. It's such a wonderful space to have. So I'm looking forward to next year's event. Like I said before, you know, I live like half an hour away from the venue, so I feel very lucky for that. Oh yeah, I do have two more things, at least for now, that I think I'm going to add on to these final thoughts. One thing that really helped me was Jack and I took some time to step away and go down the highway, go to a restaurant, grab some lunch, sit there, eat for a bit, get away from the venue. That helped immensely. I know that something like that might be a little bit tricky if you're traveling in from out of town, if you don't have a car, but if you are able to, if you do need to clear your head a bit and get away from the venue, I know I definitely appreciated the environment a lot more once I was able to come back to it after some time and be like, okay, let's start this again. Here we go. And something else I did that I would encourage any of you to do if you are wanting to get more out of the experience in a way that you might not have considered would be to, especially as, the day goes on, try to find vendors that are new to you and that you haven't shopped with before. Go to a table where you don't see anybody there and just talk with them and see what they have that might interest you. There were about, I think, did I set a budget? No, I did not. When I say my budget, I mean loosely. But I set aside in my mental budget a certain amount to spend as kind of like, let me explore at these tables. And there were, I think, maybe 3 or 4 makers that I visited that I'm like, I know they're newer to the indie scene. I know that I don't have anything in my collection from them. So let me see what they've got. And at those tables, I bought like 1 or 2 things. And for me, it was like, the polish I bought from them did in fact fill a void that I have in my collection. And I'm looking forward to having it. So that makes me feel good. And then from them, it's like, hey, they're a newer name. They're not necessarily going to be having those long lines at this point like you see at some of the more popular tables. So I know for makers that could be discouraging. So, if you are able to in future PBEs, I highly recommend try to show some love to some of the smaller makers. Try out their products, see what you think. So, okay, I think that's the last thing. Woo! Another PBE in the books. Yeah, so please share your PBE stories in the comments. I know it's never too early to start planning for next year. I believe tickets go on sale in early December, if I'm not mistaken. Stay in touch with the Polish and Beauty Expo social media pages. I think that's the best way to make sure you don't miss out on anything. But yeah, once again, thank you all so much for, those of you I met in person, those of you I haven't met yet, but hopefully will at some point soon. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.